Moving into our last story of the day, HBO here refuses to cave to woke mob, backs J.K. Rowling as executive producer on Harry Potter TV series. So if you didn't hear, Harry Potter is being rebooted. Why? I don't know. They want money, okay? I'm of a firm belief it doesn't need to be rebooted. You can carry the story on with Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert, I forgot his last name. But you can carry the story going forward, okay? Create more content. Write more books. We want to see more Harry Potter books. At least I do. I enjoyed the series. I grew up with the series. I'm the same age as the original actors. So I don't want to see them reboot it. They're going to do it anyways. HBO voiced its support for author J.K. Rowling being an executive producer on the upcoming Harry Potter TV series amid numerous attacks against her by trans activists. Now, I want to know in the comment section, are you Harry Potter fans, folks? Do you want to see a new series? Does it bother you that they're rebooting this thing? It's like a decade-long series. It's going to take 10 years to do this entire series is what they're saying here. And we'll get into more details, but hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And this is all pushback because she wrote some stuff that is objective truths that in a nutshell, men cannot transition to be women and women cannot transition to be men. And so this trans community, as you can imagine, these activists lost their bleep. And the most inclusive group that you could possibly have, the LGBTQ community, isn't inclusive at all. And what they want to do is sit there by force, similar to what we see from Antifa, supposedly anti-fascist, which are just masquerading themselves as anti-fascist, but in reality, they're just fascists. In the same way, trans activists masquerade as their biological men as if they were actual biological women. I mean, if that makes any sense to you folks, let me know, because what I just said made absolutely zero sense, because you can't be both biological men and biological women at the exact same time. You're one or the other. But they're going to sit there and push this stuff and masquerade as something of which they're not. So this is where all the hubbub's coming on, or coming about. During the Max streaming event, HBO Max, officials confirmed that a TV series based on the 7-book series from Rowling will move forward, the Hollywood Reporter stated. Now, they're losing their minds, okay? This is very similar to that one woke person sitting in the streets when Donald Trump gets elected and she's just screaming to the skies, or everybody's face, Hillary Clinton's, her celebration party, which never happened because she didn't get the nominee to be president, or win the presidency, I should say. That's just how all the transition... I was going to call them transitioners, but I don't know if we're allowed to say that anymore. All the trans people, persons, are feeling at the moment. Officials said the long-form series will be rolled out over a 10-year period and be faithful to the book series, which Rowling as one of its producers. Quote, JK is an executive producer and her insights will be helpful. I mean, her insights would probably be helpful. I mean, she's the one that created it, yes. Like, what? Yes. You would probably want the creator to be there to help you create something of which they created that came out of their head and could probably do a lot better than you could. This comes from the chairman and CEO of HBO and Max Content. We are in the Harry Potter business. The TV show is new and exciting, but we've been in the Harry Potter business for 20 years. This isn't a new decision. We're comfortable being in the Potter business. My question is where were you backing J.K. Rowling when all the pushback was happening? That was just my question. Like, why did you not come back and kind of... I mean, this has been going on for years. This isn't the first time this has arisen. So where were you, again, when she was getting major pushback? And maybe it could be that they actually wanted to do a new series and extend Harry Potter using Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson. And maybe because Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson have gone full LGBTQ woke libs over the past, 5 to 10 years themselves, that maybe they're like, screw it. We'll just reboot it. We'll get some actors that are new and fresh. They'll keep their mouths shut. And, we'll carry the Harry Potter franchise on past those 10 years if it's extremely successful. And Daniel Radcliffe, he just lost a lot of money. I doubt that he cares. The guy his royalties on Harry Potter have to be insane. They have to be so good. The guy's made a ton of money off of it. So he doesn't need to come back. But we would all still love to see him come back, even if he is a crazy woke lip. The Harry Potter author also released a statement that read, Max's commitment to preserving the integrity of my books is important to me, and I'm looking forward to being part of this new adaptation, which will allow for a degree of depth and detail only afforded by a long-form television series. That is true. I mean, you're going to get I actually do. Look, I always read this in real time with you guys so you get a real-time reaction, just kind of off-the-cuff stuff here. I know a lot of hosts will sit there and do a lot of research, which I do, but I like giving that reaction because, look, I'm just an average Joe. I do this out of my closet. I'm an average American, just like all of you are. I like that because you only have 2 hours, right? 2.5 hours. Some people stretch a movie to 3 hours. You can only fit so much content in there where it is true that if you have a television series, you can really build upon and get to know the character more in depth and actually expand upon things that probably aren't in the book that she could reveal to the writers themselves. So you know what? Now that I'm reading this, maybe I'm getting a little more into this TV series. I still want to see the original actors. Following confirmation of Rowling's involvement, social media users reacted, with many blasting the move. Reporter Sean Collins wrote, "If you interview an actor or filmmaker or executive involved with the Harry Potter TV show and don't lead with a question about J.K. Rowling leading a hate group, you're done. Over. Out of the art club." So this is what they do, right? Anytime you go against the narrative in Hollywood, they just out you. And many of you may or may not know this. I'm part of the Screen Actors Guild myself. I haven't done anything major, but I've done television stuff, web series, film, stuff like that. Everybody that I'm friends with in Hollywood pretty much got rid of me when they found out I voted for Trump. That's why I don't do anything anymore, is because you can't even get in as a white guy, first of all, which I've been told literally by one of the main talent agencies in the world, that they're not taking any white people at this moment in time. And also, I've been told because I'm a conservative, there's no space for people like me in the area. So that's just lovely. Culture critic Catherine Van Orendonk, I'm definitely mispronouncing that last name, wrote, "This faithful adaptation of Harry Potter, announced with absolutely BS craven disdain for Rowling's political impact, is bad." Because you can't have, this is also the issue I have with the libs and the progressive left, and as well as pockets of the Democrat Party, is they can't separate the two. They can't separate the two, where it's like you can have somebody have a certain political viewpoint and actually create a really good content. You can have somebody that's a woke lib do like a military film and not inject politics in it whatsoever and just have it be a really good film. I'm sure that happens all the time. There's probably a lot of films, and I know for a fact there's a lot of films that all of us love that were written, directed, and probably produced by Democrats, because that's where woke Hollywood is at. And we enjoy the films. There's nothing wrong with you having a certain political ideology and just creating content that we all enjoy. You can separate the two. Now, what we're slowly seeing, I should say slowly, what we have been seeing is that there hasn't been any separation. I mean, you see it from the conservatives, their separation. They create good content. You saw it with Top Gun Maverick. Just, this is what it is. It's good. You see that with Mario Brothers movie. It was a good animation. Wasn't injecting a ton of stuff in our faces. Look, you could separate the two, but what we're seeing from the progressive left is they're not separating it. I mean, they are throwing it and shoving it down our faces, and everybody's just had enough of it. As we've mentioned before in yesterday's episode, I mean, the latest iteration of that is just not just what Disney's doing, but what Bud Light's doing, which is now they've lost $6 billion, and nobody still lost their job, by the way. $6 billion, and nobody has been reprimanded or lost their job for doing what they did. Insane. Out Magazine tweeted, "We don't want any new Harry Potter content if noted transphobe J.K. Rowling is involved." So if you don't agree that biological men can't become biological women, which is an objective truth, by the way, it's never happened in human history with a human species, then, now you're a transphobe. Somehow you're scared of trans people. How that works out, I have no idea. If you want to be a trans person, go be trans. Just stop trying to trans our kids, indoctrinate them in the school system, castrate them, push this agenda behind parents' backs, all that other stuff. If you want to be an adult, if you want to lop off your genitals, if you want to castrate yourself, if you want to do whatever you want to do, that's your life. Go have fun with that. I am not part of that whole thing. But if you want to do it, hey, go do your thing. Us conservatives, Republicans, we just want to be left alone. That's why a lot of us want to live in the country away from everybody, is because we just want to be left alone. But for some reason, the political left doesn't understand that, and they want to inject their ideology into all of us by force. But we just want to sit back and be left alone and not force our ideology onto them. If you want to be trans, go be trans. I don't care. If you want to be gay, I do think it has social ramifications. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a good thing. But if you want to go be gay, you don't need to go parade in the streets about it. Just go be gay. No, I'm. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you care about that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the religious aspect. I am Christian. I get it. But it's not my life. Who am I to tell somebody else that they shouldn't be gay or whatever? I mean, or I agree, you shouldn't go sin, you shouldn't go do all sorts of things. I 100% agree. I think it has a problem, and I think it tears our social fabric in some way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, it's their life, folks. They have a right to freedom and liberty and all those same rights that we do. Go do that. But stop trying to force it upon all of us, literally by force. We're seeing that. I mean, there's people losing their jobs. There's teachers losing their job because they called somebody, they said the word everyone. Or they said ladies. People are losing their job because they're using the wrong pronouns and the same pronouns that everybody's used since ever.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.